me ask that few hands. Business to business? Okay, lot of them, lot of them. Because analytics is something really, what you can say is much diverse, much across spanning functions and across segments, whether it is banking, insurance, whether it's telecom. So all of that is really using analytics at its core. And my agenda here today is to take you through a journey of analytics and see if it makes sense to you in terms of how you can apply that in your business growth strategies, right? Everybody wants to grow their business, and we are in certain times where we really need to look more on data to enhance our strategies. Dr. Velumani rightly pointed out that think about IT, and IT is going to play a crucial role in whatever business that you are. So I assume that all of you, whether you are a startup, you are a SME, or you are a larger organization, this has a wide applicability. I'll put my effort here to really drive you through what is analytics and how we can leverage in our business. So you all are into business. Everybody wants to grow the business. So question arises, I'm doing fine with my business. Why should I need analytics? How is it going to help me, right? So the agenda here is that we are going to look into some of these areas. Some slides may be a bit complex, pardon me for that, but my agenda here is to really help you guys in whatever small time I have to take you through this whole journey on analytics. The other thing is that even analytics makes sense. Where do I apply it? Where do I begin? How do I use it? So I'm quickly going to cover these answers in this presentation. I mean, it's a busy slide here, but at the end of the day, that's what, like Raj was saying, the Facebook status, so many things are happening. How many of you use WhatsApp? Yeah, see, but the thing is that how many businesses are using WhatsApp to engage with their customers? Very few, very few. So that's where it is happening. The large organizations are struggling, the adaptation by the consumer to newer technologies. So the consumer and the society is absorbing the newer technologies much faster. Like Sachi said that she's connect on Instagram, right? She's posting her pictures on Instagram. So we can come to know what Sachi is doing. So this whole thing of consumer engaging in a faster technology, a newer technology is much faster than even before the businesses can adapt and communicate with the customer on that. This is what we call as a concept of digital Darwinism. So the consumer is adapting to the technology much faster than the businesses can adapt. That's a fundamental of a digital Darwinism, and that is just one part of it. If you look at the other part, like if you tomorrow decide to buy a car, earlier what you used to do, you just used to go to a Maruti dealer and understand and decide on a car. But now no more, because what you are going to do, if you are going to buy a car, you are going to ask your relatives, you are going to search on the nets, and then you have the cardekho.com, you're going to compare the cars, you're going to see whether used car makes sense or the new car, what are the reviews on the car, things like that. So your consumer decision journey has changed fundamentally over a period of time. So you are engaging online, you are taking peer feedback, and then you are going with a lot of information in hand, and you meet a dealer, you are already aware about what you are going to buy, and you are going to ask some very pointed questions. And compare that maybe 15 years back, you just used to go to the car dealer and the sales guy used to say, buy this or buy that, and you are more or less comparing those models there and deciding on it. So the consumer decision journey has also changed. The other area which is really impacting is obviously you all are aware, I mean, it's there in our culture now, the Facebook and the Twitter. Facebook is trying to put a lot of effort to cover all the 1 billion people of India on Facebook. So there's a lot of things happening on that front. And businesses are challenged to really address this situation. And it's a struggle, I'll frankly say, it's a struggle to adapt to this whole quickly changing scenario. It's become very dynamic. I mean, if you see the Fortune 100 companies or Fortune 500 companies list, it's almost 10 years back, the number of companies which were there, and then you see it now. There's a lot of churn happening. So that means that the businesses are getting out of the business faster than you can even imagine. So there's a whole thing happening there. The third thing is, now we are talking about the connected homes. We are talking about connected cars, where they can remotely monitor a car, almost 30, 40 parameters of car engine, performance, brakes, and things like that remotely. So there's a concept of connected homes, connected cars, connected factories. There's emerging, and there's a huge potential emerging and that's disrupting the various businesses. Like a connected car business is potentially can disrupt an insurance business, because in Europe, for example, a connected car data gives the insights into a driver behavior. And that driver behavior can help the insurer to vary the premium. If you are a safer driver, you pay a less premium. And if you are a more aggressive driver, so you tend to pay a higher premium. So these whole things are disrupting industries, disrupting the business models, and things like that. The other thing is that the whole mobile revolution, all of you are party to it, because almost we are now 97 crore people are on mobile, and the kind of smartphone penetration is almost growing at 4 times the rate. So all the feature phones are getting replaced quickly by the smartphones. All of us are using smartphones, and then the apps coming in. People are using mobile wallet. So where you engage, suddenly you have a pay ATM, which is almost, they are claiming that they have 50 million customers. So basically they have come without a banking license and disrupted the existing banks. And actually the various public sector, private banks are worried, because their payment wallet is nowhere near seen, and here comes this Paytm and takes away entire payment mobile wallet business from them. So these things are disrupting, and that's why I have very high hopes, and I'm very excited to be here, because here I was meeting a lot of people during the breaks and the lunch and all. You're seeing a lot of SMEs coming up, and maybe some SMEs, if it comes up with this kind of ideas, and next 5 years you may be disrupting a much larger market, right? It was very inspiring to see Dr. Velumani speaking about it and how he really created the business. And it took him 30 years, but now these things are crunched, and this kind of things happen in 5 years' time. How WhatsApp came in maybe 2009, 2010, and it became a threat to Facebook in 3 years' time. So Facebook was worried, and they ultimately acquired WhatsApp. And maybe now you have Instagram, and maybe after that something else. So this whole concept of consumer decision journey is changing. The organizations are not able to adapt to changing consumer behavior requirements and the channels of engagement. If you see today, you may be calling a contact center earlier, but now you can convey a complaint over Facebook, and you can send some Twitter message, right? So the channels of engagement are also increasing. So in such an environment, for a SME like you, if you are in a B2C environment, this becomes very relevant, because if you don't adapt to this, there are chances that somebody else will, and you tend to lose the business on it.